What happens to the brain when you are in the space? In space, there is no up or down. Humans have a harder time controlling physical movement and completing mental tasks in microgravity. This confuses the human brain and affects the way people move and think in space. Astronauts have experienced problems with balance and perceptual illusions. An investigation on the International Space Station seeks to understand how the brain changes in space and ways to deal with those changes. Rachel D. Seidler, director of the University of Michigan's Neuromotor Behavior Laboratory, is the principal investigator. The spaceflight effects on neurocognitive performance, extent, longevity, and neural basis neuromapping study is examining changes in both brain structure and function and determining how long it takes to recover after returning from space. Researchers are using both behavioral assessments and brain imaging. The aim is to see the volume of different structures in the brain, and whether they change in size or shape during spaceflight. Both the behavioral assessment and brain imaging are important in identifying the relationship between physical changes in the brain and those in behavior. On the ground, vestibular system tells you how your head moves relative to gravity. But in space, the gravity reference is gone. That causes perceptual illusions, as well as difficulty in coordinating movement of the eyes and head. These difficulties can have serious consequences for astronauts, especially when changing between gravitational environments, such as landing on Mars. In those cases, astronauts will need to be able to perform tasks such as using tools and driving a rover, and they must be capable of escape in a landing emergency. Identifying the physical mechanisms behind changes in behavior, and how much time it takes to adapt will help to determine how best the space explorers compensate. The study also reveals whether astronauts return to normal post-flight, because the brain changes back, or if the brain instead learns to compensate for the changes that happened in space. Similar brain changes and adaptations can happen on Earth as well. As people age, they use more brain networks than a younger person does to perform the same task. Chemotherapy, injury and illness also can trigger such adaptation. A major benefit of this study is to make fit and healthy astronauts understand the ways one can recover and adapt in space and on Earth. At least here on Earth, people can usually tell which way is up